We're doing 50% of her music video today. We're gonna shoot the scene at the parking garage today. We're gonna do a couple different takes there. So here's us today. This is us. We're gonna be shooting at the parking garage. We'll do at least 3 takes, gimbal, handheld, 360, and also if we can do some B-roll, that would be great. Before I do the shoot, I am formatting my camera. Boom, we'll be using that today. What? So the main thing I want to kind of improve on as of my skills for this is kind of work on my lighting. I'm not going to be using any artificial light, but what I'm going to be doing is harnessing the sunlight as best as I can. So I don't technically want hard light on Anna's face. I want it to be nice and soft. Depending on the sun location, we'll see how that plays out. So we have options of, we might have a cloud come over, that'll be sweet. And then we might be able to utilize some shade spots of the parking garage. All right, we are on our way to get Anna. Where are we at?
What?
Where are we at?
No.
This is behind the scenes. Where are we at?
No, stop.
We're at the parking garage, about to do the first shoot.
Oh no. It's squinty.
Got Anna, we're doing our first location. So where the sun was, the sun's changed a little bit already, but the sun was casting a shadow just a little bit, kind of like this, but all along the edge. So what we wanted to do, I wanted to get some nice soft lighting. Anna, stand over here in the corner real quick. I wanted to get soft lighting on her face, kind of like that. And sometimes the sun peeked over and touched part of her faces, which was really cool. It was kind of a nice accent. And so basically the wind was also being blocked a little bit by the wall, but it also was coming through a little bit, which was a nice accent. So it turned out really good because I wanted to be able to, for her not to be squinting, and she didn't want to squint either. So was it your idea? It was your idea to use this wall, right? Because I said we could use this wall, but then you said we could use this one, which was much better. You said it was cleaner too, which I agree. I think it looks good in the last final piece. What do you think? So what are we gonna do now?
Get some B-roll.
Yeah. You want to be in a music video? Extras? Okay, and just play like some part of it as Okay, so a little bit of a brief update. We got done with day one, and tomorrow morning we will be doing day 2, final day of the shoot. Today went well. A lot of challenges and maneuvers of how to get the best lighting, but I think we did good. Anna had some good advice too. As you saw, we figured something out, and I think it'll look good in the final product. This was a very run and gun style type of shoot. Check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and dump the footage that we shot today. Good morning. Day 2 of the shoot. Let's do it. Oh. Hello. Where are we at today?
The lake.
We're at the lake. Day 2. About to get some awesome footage.
What?
Okay guys, so we just finished some of the music video part. We're gonna do some B-roll. I want to talk about what we did right here. This shot, we had her standing in the nice grass, and we did a 360 around her, and we're only using parts of it. All up to here is good, except the houses. We don't want the houses in here, so when we do the 360, we're gonna use the part where the background is this view. And when we get right up past here, there's a house being built. So all the way from here to here is pretty much a 180 we can use. But I just kept going around her, and we're gonna use the parts that have this in the background. So sweet. How did that feel though?
Good.
Did it feel good?
Yeah.
today I will be starting to edit the music video. So it's gonna be good. So you can start to see the different layers we have from the takes. I named them just so I know what each one would be. And some of this is B-roll as well that I would, kind of start to incorporate and whatnot. And I'm kind of at like a rough cut point. Okay, so I want to show you something that I was doing in the edit. Yeah. All right, so right in here is a kind of a ukulele part that Anna was playing right before she goes into the bridge. There seemed to be a little bit of dead space with the plain ukulele playing, and the shot that I had for it I didn't like. I wanted to switch it out. That shot. So it goes into that. That shot is good going into the bridge, but I didn't feel like this was a right fit for the mood. And I didn't like the angle either. So what I did was I took some B-roll footage of the field that we were shooting at and played that over top of it. And then what I did was I took a slow-mo footage of her playing the ukulele. It's not technically the exact same chords, but I matched it up to the speed to where her strum is on beat. When she plays that last chord and kind of pauses a little bit, it cuts to this dandelion shot, and it kind of, I feel like, insinuates and foreshadows the kind of pause that she's going to do in the lyrics, like what she's going to talk about. So it's going to be like, so she says stop. So I feel like that's kind of like a foreshadow, just a very still shot of her about to talk about being kind of still. So let's look at the two again. Much better. I feel like it matches the tempo of that ukulele part a lot better, and it keeps the rhythm and it keeps the pace until we cut to that last chord that kind of slows it down, and we go into a little bit more of a steady, more slow part, which is the bridge. So the main edit is pretty much done. What I'm going to do now is head over to kind of color grading and color correcting it a little bit, kind of just giving it that final touch. We took some pictures of her out on the field as well that day, and she took some of those photos and edited them, and she wants me to kind of make the same look in the film as in the photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the photo that she took and that she edited, and I'm going to kind of like just take a look at it and see if I can best kind of match what she is wanting. Before, after. Oh snap, that looks so good. Boom.
Don't let this bring you down. There are better things to think about.
Okay, so basically the things that I have taken away from this music video are pretty simple, but can be challenging sometimes in the field. And I think just as I continue with experience, it'll get more streamlined and more second nature. So definitely kind of just working with the sunlight and working with natural lighting and working with the angle of the sun. I think the angle of the sun is very important, and it's very crucial to know when you're going to be shooting, because that directly correlates with the angle of the sun. Now, I know like early in the morning and later in the day you have more of that golden hour time, which is pretty self-explanatory, but the sun changes a lot in the middle of that. Like, I think the notion is sometimes that I would think is just like the sun's up above and the sun's just up top, when in reality the sun is still moving a lot. So I think just being able to work with the angle of where the sun is at, and to either try to figure out what that's going to be in the future and to plan shoots better around that, or just to know how to work with that better in the field. I think it's always good to have a solid plan and not to rely on a maybe, And so I think that's what I want to do better, is to really kind of have a good set plan for things like this, at least to have a good plan and a good solid foundation and a good mindset and a good idea of how we're going to go about the lighting. Once you have the lighting down, I feel like the shoot can go a lot smoother instead of, trying to figure things like that out. And yes, on a shoot, you might still figure some things out, you might still change some things, but I think just having a better idea of natural lighting and going into that is something that I want to grow in. And the other thing I would say is just coverage, like coverage of the whole song. Make sure you have footage of the whole song. And what we had planned, like we were going to do 3 takes on each location, it didn't quite go out that way. Like we didn't quite do 3 takes of the whole song. I think in the future I want to be able to streamline that and make sure like my shot list is down pat, and make sure my shot list is like solid, and to make sure like I know when I leave the set that I got everything. I think that is super important to get the coverage that you need and to make sure that you do have everything. And yeah, and so with something like this, when it's just me doing the filming and with the person, the artist, whoever it may be, it's, things are a lot more simpler. But when productions become a lot bigger, when there's more people on set, when there's crews, when there's maybe more than one musician or something, that communication is really key. So I believe being able to really have an organized shot list and have an understanding of what needs to be done and what is already done and what you guys need to finish doing, just because I feel like that would make it a whole lot smoother. So like I said earlier in the video, this was kind of more guerrilla style, just guerrilla filmmaking, run and gun. You go out and do it, you have an idea, but a lot of it is kind of like you figure it out in the field, which is perfectly, there's nothing wrong with that. But just to have like more of a knowledge of the field and of the factors that play in, because this was my first music video like this, and so I've done a lot of shooting outside, but in regards to a music video, this is pretty fresh, and each project calls for different things. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope to do a lot more music videos in the future. I love music videos. I'll see you guys later. A Smile and Happiness. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. Let Anna know what you think. Go support Anna White. She got some great music.